Hi guys, so this video is to walk you guys through your first essay assignment, which is due this Sunday at midnight. This is a very short mini essay, but it gives you the idea of what the essays will be like for the course. But because this course is so incredibly short, I wanted to keep this as a very brief assignment for you. So you guys have done your first unit this week. You've seen several different accounts of the quote-unquote American experiences and what creates the national identity post-Civil War, all the way up to World War I. So you're basically going to be looking at analysis of how that American identity is being formed. So for this essay, you're going to choose one of the authors that you read this week. You'll develop a written analysis of that work from that author, the one that we read in the course, and then you'll incorporate contextual elements related to their life, their history, or their historical impact. You need to look at how the author and that work are situated in terms of the larger political, social, economic, or philosophical changes that were taking place as this quote-unquote American identity was being formed. So, for example, what does that mean? That means you look at how the text either reflects or influences these changes that are happening in a larger scale in society. So looking at how the author and the work influence those changes, look at or reflect those changes, look at how the author work does or does not fit with this quote-unquote new American identity. You can look at how the author helps shape these American ideals. You can look at how the author approaches their subject matter in a certain way. So does the work have a certain bent or view that is working to create a social or political goal or message? So how are these historically situated? So for example, if you're looking at, say, Twain's war prayer, there's a very specific message there regarding how we treat the war fervor. And he's being very critical of that. So it's this particular message or bent towards the idea of war and how Americans have a nationalistic understanding of war. So he's critiquing that. So that could be really answering that last question. If you look at, say, Zit Khalasa, you can look at how her text and her work helped create change for Native American people during this time period. If you look at someone like Booker T. Washington, you can look at how this quote-unquote American identity, this new ideal of freedom and westward expansion, maybe doesn't fit everyone exactly the same. Maybe there are marginalized groups who don't get the same freedoms as everybody else. So really you're looking at why does the author and the text matter? Because all of these people, all of these authors and texts are very important in terms of the larger historical scope of literature. So you want to make sure to keep the focus on the text and explain how the text is creating this influence or this impact or these ideas. So you should have a clear thesis with clear main ideas and then expand on those ideas with really solid evidence from the text. You can use outside sources if you like. They are not required for this paper. You want to use, in other words, specific quotes, paraphrases, or passages that illustrate or support your claim or your idea about these texts. And then you expand on that with your own analysis. So the essay, because it's a mini essay, is 1 to 2 pages in length and is due by Sunday, July 15th at midnight. So when I say 1 to 2 pages minimum, that means to the bottom of the first page at very minimum. If you do anything less than that, I'll have to take off points. In all honesty, a solid essay that's going to have all of the parts that you need and is going to get a good score is probably going to be closer to 2 than it is to just 1 page. But I'm only requiring 1 page at minimum to the bottom. Remember also that everything is going to be checked through SafeAssign. So when you're choosing work from this unit, you can choose Twain, Washington, Chopin, Gilman, or Zit Khalasa. And again, it must be the work that you read from this person in this unit. So you guys are going to be graded on this criteria. So you need to have good, solid analysis of the work and its major ideas. And then secondarily incorporating what I talked about in terms of the sort of larger historical impact of the author and or the text in the historical situation. Have good solid evidence from the text, so quotes and paraphrases to support your claims with citation, proper page length, MLA, and citations. A fully developed essay structure, even though it's short, it still can be a really solid essay structure, including a significant introduction, clear main ideas, and a conclusion, and then a careful, clear organization of all ideas. And I do want to make sure that it's clear that you guys can always go over these minimum. This is just the absolute minimum that you must write. So some ideas to kind of help get you started. You can look at characterization in the work that you're choosing. You could look at archetypes, the protagonists, the secondary characters. How are they developed? You can look at literary devices. You can look at similes, metaphors, irony, foreshadowing, flashbacks, motifs. You can look at the structure. So you can look at dramatic arc, the conflicts. Is it man versus nature? You can look at solutions, resolutions, point of view, narration, themes, symbols, motifs, style, allusions, and then you also can look at the historical contextualization. So look at the author, the work, the things surrounding the text. So what historical events were happening? What are the social, ethical, or moral issues that are being discussed here, etc. So hopefully this is clear to you guys. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, go ahead and use the rest of the week to really work on this essay, this mini essay, and then turn it in by Sunday at midnight.